Hi friends, and welcome to this session on non-verbal reasoning. Non-verbal reasoning is very important as far as our CSAT paper is concerned. You would see that almost every year there would be around 3 to 4 questions on non-verbal reasoning, and they are very easy. The only thing which you require to solve them is lots of practice. So if you have lots of practice, you can very easily ace these questions. There is nothing which is very difficult or very much cumbersome about these questions. This require lots of attention of yours to solve them properly, and also some bit of concepts. There are not many concepts, but yes, there are some concepts which might be there, which might help you to solve these questions. But these are basically observational questions, right, based on your observations. So I have put in 30 questions for your practice and to drive the concept home. There would be more questions on this link, so you have to go to this link to practice. I have also taken the questions from this link only, so just go to this link. There would be various categorizations and you have to go in those categorizations to solve these questions. The link is very good. There would be some explanations also with each question, so you have to just practice whenever you have time, and I'm sure this would be very rewarding, because even if you devote around 2 hours or 3 hours from your entire preparation, you would get around 10 to 12 marks in the paper from this section, right? So let's go to the questions and try and solve it. The first question, or the first type of questions, is the series completion. So there would be 5 or more than 5 or x number of figures which are given, and then you have to find which of these options follow these figures. So there has to be certain pattern which you have to identify and then mark the answer choice. Let's go to question number 1, right? So here you see the circle, right? And circle is divided into 4 quadrants, and there are 3 of these animations, right? 3 of these. One is the arrow, other is the line with the circle, and other is a line and a perpendicular line. So if you see the sequence, it might be very intimidating. So to solve this question, just focus your attention on one of the symbols. So let's focus firstly on this one, right? On this one. So this is a line with a circle here. Firstly it's in this quadrant, then it goes to this quadrant and the circle comes outside. Then it goes to this quadrant and circle comes inside. Then again to next quadrant, circle goes outside. Then to next quadrant, the circle comes inside. So it has to be now in this one, this quadrant, right? So where is this? And the circle has to be outside, which means this option is gone, right? Because the circle one has to be in this quadrant, I mean, right? So this is gone. This is possible. This is again gone. This is possible, and this one is again gone. So you have reduced it to 2 choices. Now let's focus on the arrow. The arrow also moves in adjacent quadrants. So firstly it's here, then here, then here, then here, then here, and finally it has to be here. So in both the cases it is here, but it also goes, firstly it was inside, then outside, then inside, then outside, then inside. It has to be outside. So which answer choice out of 2 and 4 has the arrow outside? It's choice number 2. So just mark choice number 2. You have to do nothing, just observe and mark the answer. So choice number 2 is the right answer. Now let's go to question 2. Again, if you try to figure out what is happening, it might become very tedious and very difficult. So let's focus on one of the things and let's see what is happening. So here there was a square. Now here there is a rectangle. This means square has been replaced by rectangle. Here there was a T. Here it has been replaced by S, right? Here the rectangle is replaced by a C, and here the S is replaced by equal to. So if you see, the one which is here, right, is replaced via another figure. The one which is here is also replaced by another figure, right? So what is happening? Initially we are given four things: cross, a square, a circle, and a T. Now a cross and a square exchanges the position, and when any figure on this position comes to the extreme, it changes the shape, right? So cross goes to the position of square, square comes to the position of X, but when square comes to the position of X, it becomes a rectangle. Similarly, the circle goes outside and T comes inside. Now what is happening in this? In this, the T is going outside and circle is coming inside, but when T is going outside, it is changing into S. So T has changed into S, and the X and the rectangle has just exchanged the position. So there is just one replacement, and then others are change of positions. Now the replacement would occur between these two, right? So X would go here and the rectangle would change to C, whereas these would replace as such. So these are just interchanged, whereas the C has been replaced. Now these would just interchange. C would come in place of X, X would come in place of C, whereas when these interchange, S would become something else. So S has become equal to, and circle has interchanged. Now these two would just interchange, so there would be equal to and circle, which is in choice 1. So choice 1 might be possible, choice 3 might be possible, choice 4 might be possible. 2 and 5 are shunted out. And now when these two interchanges, C would become something else. So there should not be a C. So this is gone and this is gone. So what we are left with is only choice 3. So 3 would be the right answer. This is how we do it. This is how we observe it. If there are lots of elements, we start observing one by one, right? Now let's go to question 3. Here there is a arrow and an S. In second thing, S becomes big and arrow becomes small, and they interchange the position. Here there is a triangle and a half rectangle, incomplete rectangle. Here the rectangle, incomplete rectangle, is enlarged and the triangle becomes small. Now what would happen here? L would become small, but the direction of L would remain the same, and the polygon would enlarge. So polygon enlargement is happening here, but here L has been changed, so this is not right. Polygon enlargement has been happening here, but the polygon is inverted, so this is not right. This is something which is wrong, obviously. This is also wrong because L and polygon has to change the positions, and this is the only choice which is left. So fifth is the right answer. The polygon has increased, L has become shortened, and the positions of these two remain the same. So this is the right answer. Let's go to question number 4. So in question 4, what is happening? So there are lots of 6 things which are there, and it might become difficult to understand how to go about it. So let's take one thing. So if you see, one thing is being replaced, right? There is a replacement which is going on, right? Let's understand what is happening to something which is here. Something which is here is going here, right? Now this was here, C was here, now C became on this place. Now this was here, this goes to this place. Star was here, star goes to this place. Circle was here, circle goes to this place. So now this arrow was there, so it goes to this place. So this might be right, this might be right. Last 3 are wrong. So just by observing one thing, we have eliminated 3 wrong answer choices. Now let's see how is replacement happening, right? Or let's focus on something else. Now this circle goes here. Now this circle goes here in next one, right? This X goes here in next one. This diamond goes here in next one. So here it has to be this goes here in next one, which is only choice number A. So without looking at any other thing, choice A is the right answer. Choice 2 is also wrong. So this is how we do these kind of questions. Similarly, there is question 5, which you can do it yourself. It is in the link also, which I have given, so you can find the right answer yourself and look it at the link only. So this is how we do the series questions. The another kind of questions is analogy based questions. Here you have to look at the link between two things. Let's say the link between this, the figure 1 and the figure 2, and then you have to find the link between this and the question mark. You have to find the similar link. So let's go to question 6, which says there was a square, and in second figure all the diagonals are joined. Now we have a pentagon, and the next figure would be all the diagonals are joined. So which of them is all the diagonals joined? It is only 0.5. So it has to be fifth. Here what is happening? Here you are given a petals, two petals of flowers, and then they are just mirror imaged. So it is dark and it is white. So now here you are given two petals of, again two petals, and you have to find the mirror image, which means one this and one this, and this has to be dark. So which one of them is this? So it is either option 3. Option 3 is too much rotated, whereas we don't need too much rotation, whereas option 5 is not rotated. So option 5 is the right answer. Similarly, similar thing goes for this. So this is a B, right? We just rotate it 180 degree, right? So it becomes this. Or what you can do is you take a mirror image of this, so it becomes this, and then just invert it, right? So here you take a mirror image of this, it becomes this, and you just make it upside down. So option B can be possible, option 4 can be possible, and option 5 can be possible. To see what is happening to this arrow, you have to observe. So it was initially like this, then it becomes up, and arrow also rotates. So it was initially down, it would become up. So arrow is not up here, it is up here, it is up here. But this thing was inside, so this has to become outside. So where is it outside? This thing, it has to be outside. This thing is outside only here. So answer number 5 is the right answer. Similarly, you can do 9 and 10. They are very well given in the exercise as well. The link is provided above. You can just go through those links, and if you don't understand, it's a very clear explanation which is given as well. The other important questions which appear usually in CSAT is to find the embedded pattern. So there is some pattern, and then there are 4 choices or 5 choices to find where this pattern is found out. So you have to observe and see where the exact pattern is there, right? So let's go to question 11. It starts with, they might become sometimes very confusing, right? So it starts with, so just take a part of the pattern, right? Firstly you take this one, right? So you find where is this part. So there is a smaller triangle up and down, there is a trapeze, there is a quadrilateral. So is it here? It's not. Is it here? It's not. So there is a triangle, but there is no quadrilateral down there. Here we cannot find a triangle and a quadrilateral. Here if you look, there is a triangle, and there is a quadrilateral down there. So now can we reconstruct whole pattern? Yes, we can. So here is the whole pattern. So answer choice 4 is the right answer. So just look at one part of the pattern and try to relocate it, and if you can, then you can just decipher the entire pattern this way. So these are purely observational based questions, nothing special about them. They are based on how intently you observe the patterns and how clearly you see that the figures are there and how to solve them. That's only the only way to find the answers to these questions. So 12th is slightly difficult. I would recommend you do it yourself. If you cannot do it, just find out the answer in the link which is provided above. Similarly, you can do 13, 14 and 15, right? Let's do 15th. 15th seems again slightly difficult, but so you look 1, 2, 3, right? This pattern. So a line and two lines which are perpendicular. If you see this one, can you see anything just like this here? No, you cannot. But if you see this one, here it is, here it is, here it is, and finally here it is. So you have to observe and you have to find that 2 is the right answer choice. Similarly, you can do for 12, 13, right? 12, 13, 14. You can find the embedded pattern in this way. You have to practice, practice and practice. That's the way it is, nothing more than that. So I am not putting much effort in it. I am leaving it to you because it is all the more the same thing that you have to practice. Then is the missing pattern. So there is a pattern given here. You have to find the missing part. Let's see this example. So what should be the missing part? It should be joined, right? Something like this, and it has to be parallel, right? So something like this should be there, and then something like this should be there. You can very easily reconstruct this. So what option choice is here? Answer 1, right? Similarly, it goes for 17th, 18th, 19th and 19th, right? Here it has to be inverted triangle. Let's see 19th as well. Inverted triangle. Here if the diagonals are like this, here it is like this, right? Here if the diagonals are like this, here it has to be like this, right? So lines are like this. So inverted triangle is this, but lines are like these. So which is the answer choice? C. So 3 is the answer choice, and we can do it likewise. The next important concept is the water image. So what happens in water image? The things are inverted. So a G becomes something like this, right? Something like this. This becomes a G. So you have to just see what is the water image of this. So you have to work with options. There is no other way out, right? So this seems to be right, but 7 seems to be right. 6 would become 9, yes. E would remain as it is. S would become something like this. So this seems to be right, but you have to be very careful. Just look at other choices as well. So what is wrong in this choice? Let's see. G is right. Is R right? R is not right, right? R, this leg of R has to be like this. So this is wrong. So here G is right, R is right. In this one is 9 right? Right? 9 is not right. Right? In this one 9 is not right. So this is wrong. Here 9 is right, 8 is right, A is right, P is right, 7 is right, 6 is right, E is right, and S is also right. So this seems to be a better choice. And in last one, G is right, R is right, 9 is right, 8 is right, A is right, P is right, 7 is right, 6 is right, E is right, but S is not right. So this is again wrong. Only 3 is the right option choice. So it becomes confusing sometimes because choices are very near. So you have to be very vigilant. Similarly, you can do 21, 22. Now mirror image. So mirror image is where things become lateral. So 1 would come here, 9 would come here, 6 would come here, 5 would come here, and so on, and they are inverted as well. So 1 would become like this, A would remain same, K would become something like this, right? So you have to just work with options. So in this 9 is wrongly placed, so this is wrong option. This is obviously wrong because it on the rightmost side it has to be 1. So let's look at this. This is again wrong because 9 has been wrongly placed. So only answer choice we are left is 4. So this way you do the mirror image problems which are okay, sort of, not very difficult, but you have to be very careful as far as your answers are concerned. Now these type of questions I think have never occurred, but there is no harm in doing them because they can occur. So you are given a paper, there is an object on the paper, and then it is folded. You have to just imagine what is happening when it is folded. So for example, there was a triangle, right? An equilateral triangle. Just forget about this part first. Take each part one by one. So you take a triangle. When you fold a triangle, it becomes a single line, right? The triangle would overlap each other. Both half triangles would overlap each other. So there would be something like this, right? Both half triangles overlapping is only in this. So this is the right answer choice. Coming to this 27th, these both triangles would overlap and the lines would come as a straight line, right? So both triangles overlapping and line coming as a straight line is here, right? And as well as it is here. But here we don't have these diagonals. So there has to be diagonals, so this is wrong. Here there is only one diagonal, so this is wrong. So what is left is choice number 3. So choice 3 is the right answer, and this is how you do the paper folding stuff. Just do 28th yourself. I would say you should go to the link I have provided and do the practice yourself. And finally, what I have included is the paper cutting. In this, you are given a complete paper. Then there are folds which are happening, and then you do some cutting and all sort of thing and open the fold. What would be the right answer? So firstly, you are given a square paper. Then you fold it into 3 parts. Again, you fold it into half and you come up with a triangle, right? Now when you open it, there would be a triangle here. There would be a triangle here, which has to be inverted, something like that, right? And there is a inverted triangle here as well, right? And the cut would appear here, the cut would appear here, and cut would appear here. So this is how the things would look, which is very similar to option 2. So we'll mark option 2. Similarly, it goes for 30. So you need lots of imagination and lots of observation to do these questions. These questions are not at all difficult. They are in fact very easy, but you have to observe them very clearly, and you can easily score 100% marks in these questions. But if you are little bit limited with your observation and do not give your 100% attention to these questions, you would definitely get negative marking. So very easy questions might fetch you negative marking as well if you don't observe it very clearly. Again, these are easy questions. I want to reiterate that it needs lots of practice. So just go to this link. I'll email you the link as well. So just go to this link and practice a lot, right? So there would be various types of questions which you need to practice. You have to observe. I have given you a method of how to start observation with one element in each problem, and keep on adding elements if and when required. So you don't need to work with all the elements, start working with one and keep on adding elements if required, right? So this is how you approach these kinds of problems, and I'm sure you would achieve good score in these kind of problems. You would expect around 3 to 4 problems, which means around 10 marks problems in CSAT paper from these kind of questions. I hope that you have understood the concept really well, and I leave it to you to practice on this concept and do really well in your CSAT paper, because this is marks which you should not leave. These are the marks which are very easy to be scored, and these are sure shot marks. So I would request you to just go and do the practice. Thanks as of now, and all the best for your preparations.